Hey there. So I had a question that was on one of the comments from another video where somebody asked, if I can talk about the prolonged silent treatment. So when a narcissist gives you the silent treatment for like a really long time. So let's get started with that. We'll do that. Welcome to the live stream. And I'm just going to go and start with this topic. Okay. So narcissist is giving you silent treatment to deflect, to avoid, to punish, and to control. And we're going to talk about all of that kind of a little more in detail. But first, my name is Lise Colucci, and I am here to help you recover from, understand, and heal from, transform your life after toxic relationships and relationships with narcissistic people. So, okay, hey, you guys coming in, welcome, welcome. What is the prolonged silent treatment? So we all know what a silent treatment is, right? It's when someone completely goes silent and won't talk to you and won't address a situation or shuts down and walks away and is silent. Sometimes a narcissistic person will do this for an extended period of time. What it basically is, in my opinion, is a discard without leaving. Goes from, what did I say here? It goes from complete silent treatment into utter rejection. They will not re-engage no matter what you do or how long of a time goes, or the normal patterns don't apply, right? Which other narcissists follow. So the narcissistic silent treatment is a means of control. I've got to do this here. Okay. It's a means of control and a way to show you they're the boss, to show you they're in charge, to show you they are displeased with you, and to punish you in the most frustrating and painful way they possibly can without it being illegal, right? So they know, a narcissistic person knows that if they don't talk, it's going to make you react. And if you react, what are you giving them? Tons of supply. Remember, I can't say it enough. The narcissistic person is not only after the positive supply. They may tell you that they hate drama. They don't want your negativity. They can't stand when things are dramatic, but they love it. They eat it up. They need it. They need that attention. They need that affection, that energy. They need your focus. They need your life to be about them, not about your own things. Okay, so yeah. So this is a discard without leaving. When they prolong it for weeks and weeks and weeks and even months, right? Where they prolong the silent treatment, where they shut down and never come back. Let's put it that way. The mask never goes back on and they're never nice again. There is no more love bombing. It's just silent treatment and then grunting or minimal speech to you or total dismissal. What they're saying is, yeah, I don't really care. I never did because I don't have empathy. They're saying, I don't care. And I don't have the energy that it takes to put that mask back on because I don't care, because I can go somewhere else and get the other kinds of supply I want, or because I don't even really need it anymore. Sometimes narcissists are just so toxic and so full of their own yuck, right? Like in such negative people that they don't even really need the positive supply anymore. They just want you around to do the laundry or want you around to do whatever it is you do for them, or can't see how, or like don't want to bother to leave the relationship and go be on their own because frankly, this gives them the attention and the supply that they need. And they don't have to do much. It's an effortless way of being in a relationship without actually being in the relationship. Does that make sense? So it's rejection and it is, but here's the thing. It's not about you. This is their toxic pattern and toxic way of relating in a relationship. Yeah. Okay. What are you guys saying here? It does trigger abandonment. So silent treatment is horrible because it triggers abandonment. It triggers rejection. It triggers these feelings. Let me rephrase that. It triggers the feelings of abandonment. It triggers the feelings of rejection, the feelings of dismissal, of being invisible, of all of this. It's painful to your body. Your body has a reaction. If I was talking to you and I suddenly, or look, that thing where they look right through you, you know, people feel it. Even if it's not even a intimate, close relationship, you feel it. It's uncomfortable. It's painful. It hurts people. So yeah, And what does that get them? It gets them attention. It gets them supply. They don't have to do much to get it either. It's gross. So, okay. What did I say here? I said, oh yeah, I was talking about it being a discard, even if they don't leave. And I think that's interesting. When they discard but don't leave, that is one lazy narcissist, right? Where they don't even have the energy to leave and go find new supply. They're just going to keep reusing the same old worn out supply because you're not a worn out supply. You're an amazing person. But the energy you're giving them is pretty worn out and tired, right? And you may feel worn out and tired, and you may feel like driven into the ground. In fact, is that what you feel? Have you experienced that? And oh my gosh, have you had this happen? Have you ever had someone give you the silent treatment? My guess is yes. What did you feel? What did you notice? If you're watching this replay, let me know in the comments because these are important things to talk about. It helps to get it out and to express what you felt because guess what? You were not listened to. And my guess is if you did feel things from having the silent treatment done to you and you tried to talk about them later, you were yet again shut down and nothing was listened to. You were not validated in your feelings about what it felt like to have that silent treatment done to you. Correct? I think so. Okay. The worst is it makes you feel insignificant. It makes you feel insignificant. That's its purpose. Because you know what you are to a narcissist? I'm sorry, my friends, you're insignificant to the narcissist. The only significance is themselves. We have to remember that. The only person they see as significant is the almighty self that they exist in. Their ego is all that's significant to them. It's sad, but it is true. Okay. All right. They're also doing this to make you suffer. There are a heck of a lot of sadistic, narcissistic people out there who really do enjoy the power that other people's suffering gives to them. I have this belief, and I've seen it, where narcissistic people will take their own pain, force it onto someone else, and let them feel it by inflicting the same pain that they had on the other person. The old hurt people, right? But for real, okay? Inflict it upon someone else and then watch them suffer. And it's almost as if they're puppeting their own pain. They are vicariously living that pain out through you, but they're in control of it. And being in control of it gives them a heck of a lot of power. It's not real power, okay? It's power toward the egotistical mask that they're wearing. It's power that reinforces the delusion of who they believe they are. That's all it is, okay? We have to stop letting them have the power by exactly it's supply. It's supply. And that's what we mean by supply, okay? We're not saying you're supply. When we talk about things like this in videos, what we're saying is the energy that you give to them, the things they're pulling from you, supplies their egotistical mask and the delusion of the life that they believe or they want you to believe is real. Okay. All right. So basically they're creating a need for you to people please. When you have the silent treatment done, for a lot of people, not everyone, for a lot of people, what happens is they get so uncomfortable with the silent treatment happening that they then will do anything to make it stop. They will stop being angry. They will completely turn the other cheek, right? Like they will be like, okay, I'll just be nice. They will start doing things for the narcissist. Bids for attention, bids for affection start happening. Sometimes people beg and plead, please, please talk to me. You know, sometimes people get really sweet and soft. So the narcissist gets all that gushy supply too. Sometimes people, I mean, this is, sometimes people get reactive, but there are some people who go into people pleasing and fawning. All right. And when that happens, right, that is playing into the people pleasing codependent traits you might have if that is you. All right. And the silent treatment is an ultimatum. That silent treatment is do it or else you will get this. And they will prolong it based on how much they feel like punishing and how much they feel like controlling. So it really depends on the situation and the narcissist there. But I mean, is this familiar? Have you had that happen? Are you more of the people pleasing type where, you have gone into the fawning response and tried to force the narcissist to talk to you and be kind again? And I don't mean force like, I mean, do anything, right? Just to get the good side of them back, right? If you have done that, I mean, this can be something that is useful for your healing. If you are a person who has done that and you find that that is your tendency, you may want to talk to someone about how to function differently, how to use the information that you got from being with that toxic person to make sure it doesn't happen again in your life and to transform parts of your life. So that's a place if you need coaching or group coaching or peer support, mostly coaching or group coaching for that one, I would say, because it really is getting deep and real with yourself about that part. Check out the information in the main description of every video because there's info there on how to find that. Okay. So let's keep going. All right. So yeah, I mean, what did I say here? Okay. Important. This is a pattern. Yes, it's a pattern of how narcissists behave, especially when they prolong the silent treatments and sometimes they get longer and longer. Okay. This pattern has nothing to do with you. Let me repeat. The pattern of narcissistic manipulation has nothing to do with you. It is not about you. Okay. They're making you think it's about you. They are controlling everything so that you have to change the way you act in relationships, thus making you take accountability for what's going on, right? It's not about you. This is their pattern of manipulation. They've probably done it since they were teeny tiny little children, where they would take their toys and go. You know what I mean? So, yeah, this is their toxic pattern. Remember that this is not you. So, I have another question from you. Is this content working for you? Do you guys like this kind of conversation and this kind of discussion? If so, hit the thumbs up and subscribe. Okay. All right. So, okay, you guys, I talked about it being rejection. Wait. Okay. What did I say here? So here's a hard point. Okay. When they have prolonged the silent treatment, when they have given you silent treatment and it's going on for months, understand something. They no longer have need for your supply. Yes, they're getting supply from you, but they no longer have need for any other kinds of supply from you, at least in this point in time. That hurts. That hits you right where you don't want to feel it. I know. However, if we can face that and realize you are worth so much more than that to yourself, to others, to the world, okay? You're not here to be somebody else's punching bag, even emotionally, okay? You're not here to have somebody treat you like this. It's sort of like if somebody shows you what you mean to them, believe it. Okay, believe it. Don't think you can change the narcissist. Don't think you can bring back the good times. Don't think that the good times were anything more than love bombing because they weren't. All right. That was a narcissist in a mood to be that way, not feeling and being that way with you. Okay. And still, it's not about you. It's about them. This is how they are in relationships. Understand that if they are at this point, you might want to start thinking about your own safety, your own health, and what you can do for your life from this point forward. Finding other focuses to begin with. Let them be silent. Okay, it's much nicer. You're not talking, and just go do your thing. Just go enjoy yourself. Now, I'm not talking about when you're in unsafe situations. I'm talking about when you are physically safe, okay, and you have the means and the capacity to get away, all right? Or if you cannot get away, how to find and create a life for yourself that kind of pushes them to the back burner. And so you have this annoying, silent narcissist, whatever. You have like 50 friends you talk to all day, or a friend, or a social group, or a volunteer organization, or whatever, wherever you want to focus your energy. Okay. It's about helping yourself through this and not turning to this toxic person for the relief from their stupid silent treatment. All right. It's really childish behavior and it is incredibly toxic. It is so painful to people. It creates the feeling of invisibility in in a person who's receiving it. It creates the feeling of a need to fix it. It creates silent treatment is it gets into your skin, it gets in, right? It gets in your head. And I don't know, when you're not listened to, what's the first thing you want to do? I mean, some people want to react with anger. So then you get reactive. And do you want to spend your life angry because some fool thinks that they can be silent and it means anything? Right? It's kind of, we have to disarm the power. And by doing that, by taking away the power because it doesn't affect you quite as much, even a little bit, then you can start to see things differently and start to improve your life. Okay, I'm gonna go here. Um, the more I brought up something, I'd be punished. I was told the more I brought up something, I would be punished another day by adding a day each time. Oh, yeah. Uh-huh. Oh my gosh, so much. Yes, they then have the nerve to expect us to answer them so entitled. Isn't it? Isn't it when you think about it? I'm not laughing at your situation. I'm laughing because if you took it and made a cartoon, it'd be ridiculous, right? You're like, "What is that person? What is that? It's not even a relationship. They don't know how to have a basic relationship at all because they're always so self all the time." All right. And yeah, you've done the fawn. If I knew better, I would have done better. And you know what though, Stanley? I don't know. I don't know if there is a better. The only better, really better, would be to say, "Okay, I see you're silent. Pack your bags and go." While there's that space of silence, right? Before the love bombing starts again or they pull you back in. But we can't know that until we go through it because we're not going to just throw away everyone at the second they have some reaction, right? Everyone can have a moment where they get silent. It's the prolonged silent treatments and the continual silent treatments. And when you see that you say something to someone and they can't handle it, right? Basically, you say something they need to be accountable to, or you're requesting accountability or requesting discussion, and they shut down with silence. That's when, but it takes time. It takes time to see it. Okay. What is the difference between silent treatment and stonewalling? Stonewalling, I believe, is more like a shutdown versus a silent treatment is over the whole of life. So when I've had the silent treatment done to me, it was um, asking a narcissist to be accountable for something very basic and very simple, like, "Hey, are you ready to go?" I mean, really, that simple, and then met with, I can't even make the face, the mean eyes that stare right through you, and then they're displeased by their posture, by their expression, by the fact that they're not talking, and then you say, "Did I say something?" And they say nothing, and you say, "What happened? We were okay a second ago. Are you angry?" And they say nothing, right? And then you say, "I'm sorry." And they say, right? And they give you the face I can't make, right? And for real, I'm laughing, but it isn't funny because it's horrible when it's happening. And you're feeling that burning pit in your stomach, like this person's not going to talk to me for the rest of the day. I've ruined the day because I asked if we're leaving. I did that. That's what you're thinking, right? When you're in it, when you see it later, you go, "What the heck? I can't even ask a simple question that I could ask a 5-year-old. Are you ready to get your shoes on?" You know what I mean? Like without them melting down. And the silent treatment goes on. And then maybe like that's at 10 o'clock in the morning. And then by 5 o'clock at night, they're still not talking to you. But then they'll talk to you in the silent treatment if you do X, Y, and Z. "Make me dinner." And so you do it. And then they're like, "Thank you." And that's it. Like, because what they're doing there is they're melting the silent treatment away, because if they just stop the silent treatment, then they lose the power. They have to slowly, sometimes like incrementally, give you little bits of attention back. And then what happens after those kinds of silent treatments? The love bombing. "See what happens when you're a good girl? Oh, you get all of my affection," right? Okay. Yeah, okay. Stonewalling is more like, I don't know, um, you know, I'll make give me a scenario you might argue about with a narcissist, like, "Hey, you're not paying any attention to me. Why is that?" And they say, "What are you talking about attention? I will not have this conversation anymore. I have already told you I give you attention." And you're like, "But can we have a conversation about what it feels like when you do?" "No. So, we're gonna do this, this, and this now." And so they're just like, boom, and they shut down that topic. That's how I see stonewalling. But it's bigger than that because it can go on and kind of bleed into a silent treatment or be part of a silent treatment. So it could be like the ramp up toward the silent treatment for some narcissists, depending how they act. All right. Um, it does trigger the amygdala thinking, not the hippocampus thinking. Absolutely. All this is, I told a sociopathic person, you know, the silent treatment is physical abuse. Look it up. That's what I said. You know, your silent treatment is physical abuse. Look it up because I knew he would deny it and argue and gaslight and whatever. And he said, "You're ridiculous," and walked away. And then I see him, we're on my phone. I see him over in the corner. And I'm like, and he says, but then he couldn't do the silent treatment because if he did, that would be abuse, right? And he absolutely can't admit that he couldn't admit that he was abusive. So he would, and then he'd say, "Well, it also looks like if somebody is feeling really threatened in a situation, they might shut down and need some quiet." And I'm like, that's probably true. So then silent treatment ended, but guess what came in its place? The filibuster, right? The the lectures. "Oh, you don't want silent? Let me lecture you." And then I wished for the silent treatment again, but got rid of that one. So don't need to worry about it. All right. Yeah. Okay. So basically, what did I say here at the end? I said, you know, they are doing this for attention. A lot of them are lazy and don't leave. Okay. A lot of them want the relationship to be the way it is when they're in the silent treatment mode. I have seen that happen a lot with long relationships or older narcissists where they like things status quo and they like being grumpy and angry and silent. This is how they enjoy life. And the person who's with them is stuck underneath it all, like just buried under it. So that's a place to start seeing that your life might be better if you just got away from it. I don't know. I'm just saying. All right, I'm going to go read what you guys are saying, and then we're going to end this live stream pretty soon. Uh-huh. Okay, you've had panic attacks from it. Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's triggering you. That's what you were saying, that it triggers your amygdala response. It's absolutely midnight blue triggering you. Absolutely. That is what it does. I don't have it. I should have looked it up and wrote down the scientific stuff on it, but it literally does affect your brain in the same place that pain does, physical pain. That's why it is physically abusive, okay? It literally affects your brain in the same place if you got hurt physically. So your brain is saying, ouch, this hurts, all right? And yes, when you bottle that up and you have nowhere to, your partner isn't hearing you, your mother, your father, whatever the narcissistic person is to you, the anyone really, it doesn't even have to be in a personal relationship. If you have narcissistic boss or you're in an organization where there's a narcissistic control over you and you're not being heard and then and then there's silence around it, you're invalidated. It's incredibly painful. This is why I'm saying if you need the coaching or the group coaching, please reach out, because talking about it sometimes even once can give the validation that, okay, 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 and start having you think differently about yourself when you're in those situations. Okay. Not that I want you to stay in those situations. I don't. All right. Yeah, you could have all the proof in the world and they would be in denial. Oh, he was. Yeah, total denial because he wasn't narcissistic about it. It was just that his poor baby feelings were hurt. And he had to be quiet because he was asked what time we were leaving. Anyway, yeah, sorry. I don't usually get that teasy of them, but I'm teasing today because it's ridiculous. The silent treatment, I'm all for walking away when you're angry, okay? But you say, hey, I need a minute. Feeling angry, need a minute, okay? You walk away, you take a breath, you come back, you re-engage, you say, okay, let's talk about this. That's different. I am all for not for someone who normally has an angry response, not having that angry response and needing to be a little bit quieter. Cool. They're working on something. But then there's discussion. This is control. This is ultimate manipulation. You can see it in young children when they go silent. Have you ever seen children play and the one kid that won't talk to anyone? And how everyone is swarmed around them trying to get them to talk when that child is angry, right? I've seen this with lots of, and so I'll talk to that little child if I was with them and say, hey, I think maybe your friends deserve a little conversation here, right? You're allowed to have alone time. And let's be kind, right? Like with little children, that's different. With an adult, it's just insanity when you watch that. It baffles you to see it. And when it's happening to you, ouch, really painful. And they know it. They know it's painful because they can see you crying. They can see you stressed. They can see your panic attacks. They know they're hurting you. That's what they want. They want it to hurt you guys. All right. What are we saying? Help me help you. Yeah. Uh-huh. Okay. Did I miss any questions on here? If I did, I apologize. Let's see. Going back. I don't have that's better. I had my light turned way down on my computer and I'm like, why can't I see? Okay. I believe it. I have fibromyalgia is like I mentioned before in the post. Oh, yeah. It will cause the body pain. Your nervous system's all over the place. Some somatic work with that might help you to talk to your body differently, to talk to your nervous system differently and your emotions differently. So just saying. Okay. All right, you guys, I'm going to head out. I will be back next week with a live stream. More videos to come. Tomorrow, I think, sometime this coming up is the covert defensiveness, the covert narcissist and their ever-loving defensive mechanism where they just get defensive about every single little thing and their vulnerable selves just getting so hurt over everything. Okay, we'll talk about that. Yeah, okay. Again, I'll see you guys next time. You take care. Bye-bye.